calling for the impeachment of Governor Tim Walz for failure to faithfully execute the laws of the state of Minnesota, abuse of power, and obstruction of oversight. Under Minnesota Constitution Article 8, Section 1, the governor may be impeached for malfeasance, nonfeasance, or corrupt conduct. These standards do not require a criminal conviction. They require a breach of public trust and a failure to uphold the duties of the office. Additionally, Article 5, Section 3 requires the government to ensure that the laws are faithfully executed. Minnesota statutes governing fraud, oversight, and fiduciary responsibilities require state leadership to safeguard taxpayer funds. Evidence presented in legislative and congressional investigations show that billions in taxpayer funds were lost through fraud in Minnesota social services programs. Oversight systems failed repeatedly under executive leadership. Federal investigation and lawmakers have estimated up to $9 billion in fraud across multiple programs administered by the state. This represents not a minor administrative lapse, but a systematic breakdown in governance. Central to H.R. 6 is sworn testimony and documented statements from whistleblowers, along with years of OLA reports. According to testimony presented before congressional committees, state employees repeatedly raised concerns about the fraud. Those warnings were ignored or suppressed. Whistleblowers repeatedly were retaliated against after coming forward. State legislative testimony further stated, Walz administration turned a blind eye in the face of countless whistleblower reports. Additional accounts point to employees who attempted to stop the fraud were marginalized or threatened. Oversight mechanisms were weakened instead of strengthened, and these actions meet the definition of abuse of power and obstruction. Nonfeasance in office is the failure to act despite repeated warnings of fraud. Nonfeasance in office. Malfeasance in office is allowing continued disbursement of funds after fraud indicators were identified. Abuse of power. Retaliation against the whistleblowers raising lawful concerns and suppression of internal reporting mechanisms. And the failure to faithfully execute the law, which is a breakdown in enforcement of anti-fraud safeguards in a violation of public trust and fiduciary duty. This was not a single incident, it was a pattern. Early warnings date back years. Continued fraud during multiple budget cycles. Escalation despite public exposure and investigations. In one of the largest cases, the Feeding Our Future fraud scheme alone involved hundreds of millions of dollars in misuse of funds. Impeachment is not about public disagreement. It's about breach of duty, failure of leadership, loss of public trust. And when the governor knows of widespread fraud, fails to act, and allows retaliation against those who speak out, that meets the constitutional threshold for impeachment. H.R. 6 is about restoring accountability. The question before this committee is simple. Did the governor fulfill his duty to protect taxpayers' dollars? Did he uphold the law? Did he respond appropriately to credible warnings? Based on the evidence, whistleblower testimony, and documented failures, the answer is no. For this reason, I respectfully urge the Rules Committee to advance H.R. 6. Thank you.